Hey, this is Pete from Singapore Property Pro, and like you and a lot of our clients who's asking us, this is probably one of the questions that you have in your mind right now in property market. Should you buy now or should you buy later? Now watch until the end of the video. You'll be amazed some of the answers that you can find out at the end of the video itself. So the big question is this: prices are not right now. Should you wait or should you go ahead and buy? And I'm sure you probably, if you are in the market for a property, you probably have already asked this question either in your mind or maybe to other people who is serving you right now. But what I want to just share with you is this little story that we have, right? This story is actually from one of our clients back then, right? Okay, in 2021. So our clients are Dan and Sue. They are actually HDB upgraders. They are staying in the 4-room HDB flat right now. I'm thinking of upgrading. So the very interesting thing is their HDB actually have a negative sale. And what does it mean? Because the cash proceeds, right, after returning the money back to the CPF, actually is a negative sale. So one more thing that they are fearful about. And they have been actually looking around for a resale private property before coming to us. And all the while they could not make a decision, right? And it's the reason why they could not make a decision because one of the things is they have a lot of fear, have a lot of questions. And this is something that I want to share with you later on. So their objective is really very simple. They wanted to upgrade, right? But they are worried. They worry if it is the right time. Right? The number one thing is that they worry. They worry that whether this is the right time. So if it was you, will you choose to actually wait or will you choose to proceed and buy? So this is actually how it looks like. Because they are fearful. And I bet that you watching this video is also fearful at this time, this current market condition, or the properties. Is it that the right time? When you sell already, you have to buy high. And when you sell already, what else are you going to buy? What to buy next? So these are probably some of the questions that you are very fearful about. So if we just go back to Dan and Sue again, right? At the end of 2021, when we met them, right? If you remember, Singapore actually just exited from COVID, right? About 2020, right? Prices are actually climbed all the way to an all-time high because there's a lot of pent-up demand from COVID, and you can actually see over here that the prices right from 2020 actually climbed all the way to an all-time high in 2021. Now I actually just cut off the slide here to purposely just to let you see that at this point of time, if you were here, would you be fearful? My friend, I think you will be, right? That's why it is important to have the correct information, right, and the correct numbers and the calculations to decide, right, and not just be fearful itself. So one of the reasons why they are so fearful is because they are afraid that might be a property bubble, right? I'm very sure when you're sitting right here at an all-time high, you will also have the same fear. Is there going to be a property bubble if I buy here? And if I buy here so high, what am I going to buy next? Can I wait? Should I just wait? Right? It's very normal. That's why we are here to share this story with you. And the number one thing we tell Dan and Sue when we actually met them was, the number one thing that actually controls their life, our lives, is actually the decisions that we make. That's why we are there to actually help give you very clear all the information, the data points and the calculations to help you make the correct decisions. So we shared with them, we sat down with Dan and Sue, and we just shared with them that you look at property is the way that we always teach all our clients to look at property. It is to actually build capital, right? If you can just remember this one thing, this takeaway, it is actually to build capital. And why building capital? This concept is very important. Yeah, just imagine we take the same Dan and Sue at the age of 40 when they approach us. They have a HDB, right? So they have a HDB, okay, and it's about $480,000. All fine, right? They could choose to just stay put and just hold on to their HDB until the age of 65. where I think you will agree you also want to retire, right, at the age of 65, right? However, what do you think your HDB is worth? Assuming that there's no more depreciation of lease and all that, you'll be lucky. I would say, don't you agree that a HDB will be about $140,000 as well? Right? That is all good. You can choose to do this path. It is all good. However, right, what if with this 480K as a capital, can you just reinvest that capital into another asset like a private condo that has a better potential of having growth and having you to build your capital? So this is very important concept, and this is actually what Dan and Sue did. They reinvest their asset from a HDB into a higher potential asset like a private condo, and they bought it 1.2 million. So at 1.2 million, can you imagine at the age of 65, even if the condo, right, did not grow a single bit, there's no capital appreciation, but you have already finished paying off the installment from 1.2 million all the way. Can I safe to say that at the age of 65, your condo, you already finished paying off $1.2 million? Now, if you look at this, if I compare, right, 1.2 million and 480K, if it's you, which one would you choose to retire with? You choose to retire with 1.2 million, is it better? Or do you want to choose to retire with 480K? Now, this is a concept we shared with them back in 2021. And they decided that, yeah, I want to choose 1.2 million because I want to build capital. I want to retire at the age of 65. And this is what we do, right? They decided that, yes, even though it is pretty scary at this point, where they enter at the all-time high, but can you see what happens after that, right? We are now right in the middle of Q4 2022. Take a look at what happens at Q4 2022. Has the property actually appreciated? Yes, it did. In fact, it appreciated at a higher rate, right? Okay, if you look at it, the property actually appreciated at a higher rate. So they decided right then to make the decision, and the decision was correct. But this decision did not come because of just feeling and emotion, but this decision is come because there is proper data and there is proper analysis being done to it. So if we just look through and take all the numbers that they absorb, that we propose to them, this is what they've done, right? Dan and Sue actually upgraded from a HDB to a private property. Okay, we analyzed this particular property and shared our proposal. Okay, we did calculate all the financing, and we even make a provision of safety fund. And my friends, safety fund is very important, which is what we do for all our clients. And it's very important is because it allows you that in case of any emergency, you are still able to sustain the installment of the property, right? So one thing that I will always share with all our clients, that if there is any point of time that your safety fund, you think that you are not comfortable, I would say, don't go ahead, right? If the safety fund is not there, you never calculate it, don't go ahead, because you will have a lot of risk. So our whole proposal is based on the lowest risk for you, for Dan and Sue, so that they can proceed with this purchase. And this is what they did. They bought the property called C Strand, December 2021. It is a 3-bedder, and when they entered it, it was at 1055 square feet, 1055 per square foot. Okay? Not bad, right? But the fear will always be there that did they enter it at the correct entry price? So my friends, fast forward, right? Because we've done the proper proposal, actually we've done the proper projection, okay? And we actually analyzed that this property have a very high potential for growth and for exit, most importantly. So when we last checked right now, okay, in 2023, in August, we can actually see this property actually grew to 1272. Now, what does that mean? They entered right at 1055 per square feet, and it grew to 1272. Okay? They have not sold it yet because it's 2 years, but what it essentially means is this, right? They are sitting, the property that they bought, they are sitting on a potential $217 per square foot gain. And it's for a resale condo, no less. So if other people will be telling you, you might have heard that resale condo cannot make money, my friends, if you do the correct calculations, if you do the correct analysis, even the resale condo can have this potential gain. Okay, it is $270 of potential gain. And currently, because of this $217 PSF gain, they are actually sitting on an unrealized capital appreciation of more than $240,000 just for this property alone, right? Now, if you ask me, my friend, do you think this is good or no good? I would say that this is a good decision that they make. Now, if I were to summarize this, my friends, if you take a look at this, realistically, for a 2-year period, to have more than $240,000 of growth, what it means is if you will choose to stay put and not do anything, Dan and Sue potentially need to be saving at more than $10,000 a month of household income. My friends, if you think realistically, is that possible? Can you save at $10,000 a month? I can tell you very, very firmly that no, it's very difficult, because when money comes to you, you will spend it away. But this, when you put money, when you put your hard-earned money inside a property, inside the asset that can have a potential growth, right? It can never be leaked out because you cannot spend away. Right? The money is all within an asset, right? And that is why we always call this building your capital, because this money is your capital, a capital for your retirement, and this money you cannot spend it away, right? Which we always advise and think that this will be a much better solution and a much better proposal for you if you are in the market to look for property to grow and build your capital. So now you will say that, yeah, this is you just show only the condo part of it, right? Let's take a look. If they don't do anything, that means they continue to hold on to the property. They decide to hold on to the property, the HDB property, and they don't do anything. Now let's see what actually happens, because we take a look at what happened. Remember when we started off, we say that they actually have a negative sale. A negative sale at that point of time of close to minus $150,000 when they actually do the resale for the HDB. Okay. However, if you take a look at now, 2 years later, right, their resale HDB is in HDL planes, and 2 years later, what was the transaction for that same cluster of HDB? You can see in July 2023, which is just very recently, it is still transacting at $500,000 at $465,000. So am I right to say that if they have done nothing, their property actually have not grown at all? Because what they did was, let's say if they sell it at $480,000, and at this point of time in July, okay, in 2021, and this is in 2023, look, it has not done anything at all. So if we put that into comparison and into perspective, this is what actually happens, right? So over the past 2 years, okay, what they did was they chose this. They chose to upgrade it themselves. They chose to sell away the HDB and to buy a private condo. And by doing so, they are already sitting on a potential capital appreciation of $240,000. Now, you might say, if they choose to do nothing, what happens? Just take a look. If they choose to do nothing, over the 2 years, it did not even maintain, because they actually have a negative sale to contend with. In fact, this negative sale is going to grow even more over the years because of accrued interest. So can I say that it's going to be more than negative $150,000? Right? So if it's you, my friend, the choice is very simple. Would you choose to go with minus $150,000, my friend? Or would you choose to upgrade and get a positive $240,000? Which one will you choose? I think the choice is pretty simple and pretty clear cut. So at the end of the day, right, after having said this, all we want to do is to share with you that this, number one, this can be done. Number two, that we just want to share how we approach this, and with the right set of numbers and calculations, right, the fear that you have, right, I'm not going to deny it, there will be fear. But if you do it correctly with the right calculations and the right projections, okay, chances are you will still be able to make the correct decision to find a property that can potentially grow your capital. Okay, remember, for all of us, we all want to decide to build our capital so that we can retire at the age of 65. So all the best, and I hope this sharing it really benefit all of you. And if you are in the market and looking to potentially looking for a unit to upgrade and to grow your capital, just like what we did, and still not sure how to do it, right, simply contact with me and my team. The link is in the bio and description below. So this is Pete from Singapore Property Pro. I will see you in the next video.